Welcome back, y'all, and today we're going over the top 5 most common fish diseases and what you can do to treat them. Now, as a quick disclaimer, before treating your fish, always do your research because some fish cannot tolerate chemicals. And there are also species such as shrimp, scaleless fish, and snails that may not be able to handle these treatments. So always do your research before adding anything to your aquarium. Number 1 is ick, also known as white spots disease. Now, ick is a small protozoan that's very common. Fish infected will often start rubbing themselves on ornaments and against gravel. Ick will appear as small white spots on the fish that make it appear as though the fish has been sprinkled with grains of salt all over their body. Now, unfortunately, when it comes to ick, you're gonna have to treat the entire tank. Now, there are many different treatments available for treating ick, and one of the most popular amongst fish keepers is the Ichthyophthirius by Hikari. There are also more natural approaches such as raising the temperature of your aquarium, treating with aquarium salt, and soaking fish food in fresh garlic before feeding them. Now, the most effective treatment that I have found that's leaning more on the natural side is feeding my fish the new Life Spectrum Ick Shield. If your fish are willing to eat it, then this food works wonders. This food contains many vitamins and herbs to help boost your fish's immune system along with garlic. The chemical allicin found in garlic has the natural ability to eliminate parasites. Number 2 is fin, mouth, and tail rot. If you're noticing what looks like frayed fins or tails, your fish may be experiencing fin or mouth rot. With fin or mouth rot, fish can look really terrible. Just as it sounds, the mouth will appear to be rotting away, often leaving the mouth looking like it's stuck open. And this can make eating very difficult for your fish. Fin and mouth rot are often caused by poor water conditions or injured fish, which then leads to a bacterial infection. There are antibiotics and other treatments such as melafix or betafix that you can use as directed to treat your fish. In my experience, you can usually get rid of fin, tail, and mouth rot if you catch it early enough, just by doing very frequent water changes, possibly daily water changes, and adding a little bit of aquarium salt to your tank. In extreme cases though, you will need to treat the tank with antibiotics. A broad spectrum antibiotic such as erythromycin is usually recommended for this. Number 3 is fungal infections. Fish that have a fungal infection tend to have a gray or white growth on their body or fins. This discoloration often appears as though there is cotton growing on your fish. Now, if this is left untreated, the fungus will begin to eat away at your fish's body. Fungal infections in fish can sometimes also lead to bacterial infections as a secondary problem on your fish that also might need to be treated. This infection, like fin rot, can also be caused by poor water conditions. With fungal infections, there are several treatments available. Commonly used are Pimafix for antifungal use and melafix if there is a secondary bacterial infection. In more severe cases of secondary bacterial infections, you may need to use antibiotics such as nitrofurazone or erythromycin. And number 4 is dropsy. Dropsy is often recognized by your fish having a bloated appearance and seeing protruding scales that almost give your fish a spiked look. This is usually caused by a bacterial infection of the kidneys, and it can often lead to renal failure. Typically, this disease comes on in fish that are already ill, older, or have been kept in poor water conditions for far too long. Antibiotics and frequent water changes tend to be used for treating dropsy, but unfortunately, because of renal failure, this disease is often fatal. Now, the antibiotics recommended for treating dropsy are erythromycin or minocycline, but again, unfortunately, they don't usually recover from dropsy. Number 5 is velvet. Also known as gold dust disease, fish experiencing this will often have a rust-like appearance on their bodies. Fish will become lethargic and begin to rub themselves on ornaments and gravel, trying to break free of this parasite. You will also often notice clamped fins and labored breathing. A common treatment for velvet is shutting off the tank lights, raising the temperature in the tank, and possibly even covering the tank to help keep light out. Copper-based treatments can also be used to treat cases of velvet if used as directed. So anyway guys, that's all I really have for y'all today. As always, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video.